Okay, I'm going to test this out before I start having more people joining. Hopefully, those of you that are watching right now, I hope you guys can hear me. If somebody can let me know. If not, I'm going to have to end it and make sure. But just testing to see first if everybody can hear me. Hopefully. I've also got a fly that keeps flying around. Yay! Thank you, Jess. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Oh, hi, Jess. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys for letting me know that you can hear me. Loud and clear. Perfect. Hopefully it's not too loud that you hear this fly. There's been a fly massacre in the past 20 minutes. I've probably killed about 10 flies, but there's one that just is out of my reach. Can't get him. So I'm sorry if you hear a fly buzzing around. I've done all I could. I don't actually have a fly swatter. I was doing it with my hand, which is kind of gross, but anyways. Okay, perfect. Glad you guys can all hear me. All right. Got over 100 of you guys, so we are going to go ahead and go for it. Again, you can watch this on Facebook or you can also watch this on YouTube. But obviously on YouTube, you don't have the ability to comment, I believe. So, at least I don't think I have that set up. I don't know if that's on my part, but you can watch this technically on your TV if you have like the YouTube app. So that's kind of cool. And if need be, tomorrow, as far as severe weather goes, see, I've got that fly. He keeps buzzing around. As far as severe weather goes, pretty much what warrants me logging on and doing a severe weather coverage is if we are under a tornado watch, which again, a watch is just saying we're watching out for it. It's in the yellow shading color. It's like a butter yellow almost. The National Weather Service, that's the color for a tornado watch. No flies and hit a lot. Oh my gosh, I remember you from the live like a month ago. That's so funny. Anyways, hi Delago. Man, I'm gonna get that one of these days. But anyways, for tomorrow, as far as okay, is Alex gonna do severe weather coverage? I will post about it beforehand if I plan to go live. But pretty much what warrants it is if there is a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, and there is talks of it being issued into a tornado warning. So, and we'll most likely know, especially with what progresses throughout the overnight hours, and also with what's coming tomorrow, and if there is a tornado watch already issued for any part of central Illinois or central Indiana, or even kind of up north. I know I've got a lot of folks because I'm from West Lafayette. So I know I have a lot of folks that watch me. Your chat on YouTube is live with about 40 people. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know, David. That's so fun. Yay. I'm so glad I have people watching from YouTube. Oh, that makes me so happy. Yeah, so tomorrow we'll just play it by ear, basically. So let's get into what you guys really all want to know. So I'm actually doing this from my laptop. So I've got all of my tabs open. And so you guys are basically going to be getting an inside look at what I am looking at and what I look at pretty much every single day. And especially when it's severe weather, I'm looking at it every single hour. So, just overall, this is just going to be talking about tomorrow. I won't be able to answer everybody's questions as far as a specific place. I'm going to try and talk regionally here. And this live video is sponsored by Dragon's Tool Barn in Terre Haute. They are my sponsor for the entire month of July. I've had a lot of people reach out to me about sponsorships, and I've been super, super appreciative of that. I wasn't expecting all of this. I wasn't expecting this tremendous amount of support. So I'm very, very grateful. And especially for Dragon's Tool Barn in Terre Haute, they are sponsoring all my weather informational videos for the entire month. of July, and that includes any live videos that I do. So this is actually my first live video for the month of July. So getting into it, this is the Storm Prediction Center outlook for tomorrow. You can see that yellow shading. It covers all of Michigan, all of Ohio, and about 3/4 of Indiana, if not more. It also covers a little bit of Illinois and a little bit of Wisconsin. But the way that this storm system is moving, and I'll show kind of the reflectivity here in a little bit, the composite radar, basically a composite radar shows what they think the radar is going to look like at that time frame. So when we look at that, you kind of see that it shifts southeast. So that's why there's a little bit of that slant there in Illinois and why a lot of it isn't covered in the slight risk. But the slight risk has definitely expanded. It's definitely broadened a little bit in the past day or so, but this has been something since day 5. I think I posted about it earlier this week on so that would have been on like Thursday, maybe. I posted about severe weather coming on Monday evening. So I kind of had my eye on this since the mid part of last week, because there were just some parameters. One of the first things I look at is the temperature difference, but also there's a lightning intensity, and that kind of shows me several days in advance if we're looking at severe weather. So the next thing is the tornado outlook for tomorrow. This is very, I want to say, conservative with its scope of the tornado intensity. Granted, July, it's not a common month for tornadoes. It really is not. Statistically, it is not a month where we see a lot of tornadoes. A lot of thunderstorms, maybe, but not necessarily a lot of tornadoes. So the tornado risk is primarily in that kind of quad state area of Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, and Indiana. Here's what I predict to happen is that tornado risk is actually going to extend a little bit further south tomorrow. I think it's going to also extend maybe a little bit east as well. I think Ohio's going to get a little bit of love on that tornado risk, but I really do think that the tornado risk is going to expand for tomorrow and expand southward. So meaning it's going to cover a little bit more of the Wabash Valley. And that's just what I predict. Now, the SPC outlook on day 1 and day 2, any meteorologist watching this, or maybe just a big weather lover, knows that they come out at 1 a.m. So this forecast, if you see down here where it says 1713Z, that's just a little bit of weather information here. That's Zulu time. So the entire weather world goes by Zulu time because everybody is in different time zones. So Zulu time is a worldwide time frame that meteorologists go by, and basically you get a number that you subtract it by based on your time zone. And so that's how we're able to have everybody, all of these weather maps, somebody in Australia, somebody in the US, somebody in Ireland can be looking at the same map, and they just have to subtract a different time from that Zulu time. Anyways, that's just a small little rant, but this was issued at about 1:13 today. So that was the last time that they had an update for tomorrow's storm. So when it gets updated at 1 a.m., I really think that the tornado risk is going to shift a little bit south. Now, looking at the wind risk is actually greater there in the Michigan and Ohio area, and also northern Indiana. Now, I'll get into why here in a second when I show you the radar. But when we look at winds overall, we are looking at damaging wind gusts throughout Indiana because this storm is going to become linear. Think of linear as that line. It's just going to have this line, and it's going to come rushing basically north to south. And when you get those really strong winds, and especially in the summertime, because the warm to cold is a lot more of a pack, it punches a little bit more. And so when you have that, you have those stronger fronts. And so there could be some very strong winds overall. So I don't want us to look at this and be like, oh, because I'm not in this certain shading, like I'm not going to get anything. Wind is obviously the most prevalent thing with this system. Hail, not as much. Hail is more prevalent, I would say, from tonight's system that happened there up in northern Illinois and Wisconsin, but hail with this system. And again, you don't see a lot of big hail, with these late summer storms. So that is the Storm Prediction Center outlook. And yeah, all of us are pretty much under a slight risk in Indiana. Again, that kind of bottom portion is not under a slight risk, but I really think most of Indiana tomorrow, if not all, is going to be encapsulated in that slight risk. But that is only a level 2 out of 5, so it's not terrible. There is that tornado risk, mainly in northern Indiana. So let's look at the Colorado State University. This is just looking at some more categorical severity outlook. So it's showing us, hey, here's what we think is the percentage chance. And it pretty much mimics a little bit of that Storm Prediction Center's outlook. It has the wind covering pretty much all of Indiana. You can see that down here with that yellow, that butter yellow shading. And that tornado risk does extend down into, actually, I can zoom in on this. This is the tornado risk here, and it does extend a little bit more. But again, it shows the most prevalent tornado risk to be up there in northern Indiana. That looks to be near LaPorte, up near Steuben County, LaPorte County. Trying to think of what other counties are up there. But that's kind of where that main tornado risk is. Again, I think that it's going to shift a little bit more south, or I should say expand. I still think there's a large threat there, the highest threat in northern Indiana. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing. The first important thing is this model, the R. I look at this quite a bit. It completely changed from its previous model run. So it does an update about every 6 hours. And let me just show you, I just want to be transparent with you. This is what the run looked like, the run before this one. Shows absolutely nothing. So we are working with an updated model here, but it's starting to trend towards more severe weather in Indiana because tomorrow's rain, the early morning rain, actually the remnants of this system that's coming through tonight up there in Wisconsin, the early morning rain is looking to weaken. And if we have a lot of rain in the morning, it weakens our chance of severe storms tomorrow night. So let me say that again. If we have storms or any rain and it's a broad band of rain tomorrow morning, Monday morning, very early, 6, 7, 8 a.m., it weakens our chances of having severe weather tomorrow night. The reason being, it cools the temperatures at the surface and that stabilizes things. If you have cool temperatures at the surface, you don't have any warm air that wants to rise. And when you have a lot of warm air rising, that's what causes the instability and that's what causes the storm buildup. So if we get rain in the morning, think of it, it showers things down, it cools things down. Then we have a stable atmosphere, cool air, warm air aloft. Nothing wants to mix, nothing wants to rise. So that's kind of the back and forth, and we'll see that what it trends towards with this next model run. But it's looking to be a little bit more prevalent, at least in this model run, with seeing some severe weather and the possibility of maybe a few tornadoes and some very strong wind gusts. So this is at 4 p.m. and I'm going to go by Eastern time. So all my folks watching in Illinois, just know that I'm going by Eastern time. So just subtract an hour whatever time I'm saying. So this is 4 p.m. Eastern time. And you can see that there are some, some storms happening over there in northern Indiana. Those have the potential to, again, be severe. So I'm just going to throw out a couple of counties up there, but Kosciuszko County, Wabash County, different areas kind of near Fort Wayne. You guys could be seeing some strong storms in the late afternoon hours. This does have the potential with this linear system to bring some pop-up tornadoes. But now let's progress into the evening hours. So this is 6 p.m. Then this is 7 p.m. Do we see how it starts to build? But sometimes what the main concern is, I'm actually going to go back 1 hour. So now I'm at 6 p.m. If we see this little cell down here, it's kind of approaching the Kentucky line there near Louisville. That's like an isolated storm cell. Sometimes if you have those cells advance ahead of the front, it's sometimes a little bit more concerning because they have the sky all to themselves. They don't have to fight for any inflow, meaning they don't have to fight for any moisture. They just have all the energy in the atmosphere all to themselves because they don't have to share it with anybody. So when you have a linear system, it's possible to have some tornadoes, but it's not as possible because they're all fighting for the same energy source. So again, this is 6 p.m. and we start to see it enter into kind of the Wabash Valley area. Now, something I want to note with this, these storms historically move a lot quicker than what models want to show. So although this says 7 p.m., this is 7 p.m. right now, I do want to note that it could be a little bit quicker than that. So I would say we might start to see some rain tomorrow in the Terre Haute area, maybe around 6 o'clock. So, and I'll of course kind of keep you updated with that and what we see with that. Because I want everybody to be updated, especially as they're leaving work and when they're headed home, and any evening plans that you might have. So this will be a continuous update that I will keep bringing. But then we start to see the storms again become more linear, forming that line there. This is at 8 o'clock. And then it makes its way through the Wabash Valley pretty quickly. This is at 10 o'clock. And then now it's headed into southern Indiana, impact in southern Illinois. So we've got Olney, Lawrenceville, Vincennes, Washington, Lagodi, Shoals, different areas like that. I love doing little shout outs to towns. I'm trying to do better at giving shout outs to different towns and stuff. And then I also had somebody ask about, maybe they sent this to me in a DM or maybe it was a comment. I can't remember, but Santa Claus, Indiana. Anybody going to Holiday World tomorrow? You may be impacted in the evening hours, just a little bit. I could see some of these stray showers. Again, I'm going back in time. I could see some of these stray showers kind of pop up in the area. So Santa Claus, Indiana, down there, down south. But you should be good for the afternoon, whoever was asking about Holiday World. But by the evening, you're not going to want to be outside. That's for sure. By the time it gets to about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you're going to want to be indoors. And then this system kind of makes its way through. Now, all of this stuff that's going to happen there at 1 a.m. on Tuesday now, that doesn't look to be severe. Maybe, it's just going to wake you up from your sleep. So the good news is that the line of storms kind of makes its way through the area by the time we get to about 11 o'clock tomorrow night. And I think it'll be quicker than that. So I really do think it's going to be quicker. Let's start going through some other things here. So this is CAPE, convective available potential energy. Jesse would always just look at me and be like, it's called storm energy, Alex. I'd be like, okay, thank you. But I like to call it the scientific name. But when we look at the storm energy, we look at basically the level of instability. So this is surface CAPE. And surface CAPE here at, this would be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's pretty strong. And this is just showing you what is going to be feeding the storm, what is going to keep it sustained. So then you can see, do you see where that white pocket where it pretty much just like went away up there in northern Indiana and southern Michigan, where that pocket of where there's like no CAPE at all, that's where that rain is starting to come in. That's where that front is. So again, once you have rain that starts to cool things down, you really wipe all your chances of that storm energy, because again, it stabilizes everything. This is showing us that there's crazy instability in the atmosphere, specifically down there in southern Illinois and Indiana. So again, you can see the line clear as day here. And you can see it start to impact a lot of Indiana. This is at 6 p.m. And then you start to see that CAPE die off as the storm is eating it up. I mean, just think of it like Pac-Man. Like Pac-Man is going through and it's eating all of this storm energy up, but it's also fueling it. So there is definitely a lot. I'm going to go back here. There is definitely a lot of CAPE in the environment. Now, again, I want to be transparent, and let's look at what it was showing the model run before. It was showing a little bit, but it actually wasn't even showing any storms at all in the area. So we can kind of see the difference here. It's wanting to bring in a pretty, strong front with this. Next thing, significant tornado parameter. Okay, sometimes Sometimes I get a little iffy about showing this because I don't want to freak anybody out. And again, this is just one model run, but this is why I personally think this mixed with shear values, but this is why I personally think that the tornado risk for the Storm Prediction Center is going to be extended a little bit further south. So this is at 2 p.m. You can see stuff starting to happen up there in far northern Indiana. And again, the darker shading, that red and magenta and all this stuff, and so we see just it's a very broad or a very thin line. So the tornado risk, and then it starts to build. This is at 7 p.m. and this is right when that line of storms was coming through the area. Again, around 6-7 o'clock in the heart of the Wabash Valley. We're talking there in Vigo County, Sullivan County, Clark County, Clay County, Vermilion County, Edgar County, kind of just in that Seoul area is when we're seeing those storms come through around 6 p.m., 7 p.m. And this is what the significant tornado parameter is showing. It's very slight, but it's not nothing. But let me be transparent. Are you ready for this? This was the model run before this. Look, it doesn't show anything in that specific area. It's showing a bunch of stuff over Lake Michigan, which is just showing that there's a lot of instability over the water. But anyways, it paints a vastly different picture when you look at the model run before, but this is the most updated and recent model. So this is the one that I'm going to go off of. And especially as I've started to see more stuff come in. And then we start to see this build. This is at 8 p.m., you guys. So now they're in Vigo County and Clay County and Sullivan County. Also there in central Illinois, we're starting to see some stuff as well. So near the Champaign area, near the Effingham area, we see a little bit elevated of that significant tornado parameter. And this is at 9 p.m. So we see that it starts to build a little bit. So this is why I think the tornado risk is going to extend south as we head into tomorrow on the Storm Prediction Center. Now, last thing, not everybody's going to see a tornado, duh. If anybody even sees a tornado, because again, July, it's really not common for tornadoes. So that is like all the fun stuff. Let's get that out of the way. Let's be a little bit more realistic here. Winds come with every single storm because it's a pressure system. And with a change in pressure, you get a change in winds. That's what it is. It's winds changing and it's pressure changing. And so you get pressure gradients and you get that shift, and things have to move up and things have to move down. So with every storm, you're always going to have winds and probably strong winds. But do you see that there near Champaign, Illinois? 50-mile-an-hour gusts is what it's predicting there at 8 p.m. And then 40-mile-an-hour gusts there near Terre Haute, 50-mile-an-hour gusts there in like central, very, middle, central part of Illinois. And so we are going to see some strong winds with this as it progresses throughout the evening hours. So again, just kind of looking throughout there, we see some very, very strong winds. And then again, it makes its way mainly through the area by the time we get to about 11. This is 11 p.m. and it's kind of going through Knox County. And again, I think it's going to be quicker than what the model is forecasting. But I have to keep on saying this. We don't want it in southern Indiana. I'm sorry, but it's going to happen. But it will die down by the time it gets to southern Indiana. So maybe that's the good news for you. But I have to kind of do a disclaimer with this. If we have early morning rain on Monday, the severe chances dwindle greatly in the evenings. But I'll keep you updated on that. This is all just, if we don't see a lot of early morning rain, early morning convection, as meteorologists call it, then we aren't going to see a lot in the evening, especially if we get a lot of cloud cover, because we need a lot of heating during the day. We need a lot of warmth at the surface because that's what rises up into the atmosphere and creates that instability. Okay, so let's talk about fronts, and then I'll take some questions here. So when we see the front move through there on Monday, again, you can see this. This is at 8 p.m. there on Monday, and that warm front comes through. And then that cold front starts to come ushering through. And there's actually two cold fronts, but it's really not going to do much with this. Sometimes the cold fronts, what they can do is they bring in a little bit drier of air, not necessarily cooler air, but drier air. And so that's what it's going to do with this. So remember, especially in the summertime, cold fronts don't always mean a big cool down in temperature. Sometimes it means a big, shift in moisture. And so it'll be a little bit drier out there. And this is the excessive rainfall forecast. So just at a marginal risk there in little tiny part of Illinois, all of Indiana, all of Ohio, most of Kentucky, most of West Virginia, Pennsylvania. And then I can actually show you guys what the 1 to 7 day outlook. That blue shading in Indiana and Illinois is kind of just showing about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So it's basically saying in the next week, we might get 1 inch, 1.5 inches of rain. So hopefully it's more than that because we kind of need it. This is just a sounding plot. This is showing, marginal TOR, which is on the very, very low end, you guys. I don't want us to get concerned with that, but there is that possibility. I know this looks really like a lot. There's a lot of things going on. Maybe I'll do a video kind of dissecting what a sounding plot looks like, but we do see that possible hazard of a marginal tornado, small scale, but and then as we go and kind of finish this video, the heat, July, August, September are our hottest months of the year. They're always, our driest months of the year. We're going into a El Nino. It is happening. It's not clickbait. Maybe the way that people word things is clickbait about a strong El Nino, but it is forecasting a strong El Nino because all the way out in the Pacific, we've got some really, really warm sea surface temperatures. And maybe I'll do a video over that too. Let's see what else I have on here. This is just the radar. Let's look at what's happening right now, you guys. So they're in, Sullivan County and Crawford County. We're seeing a little bit of some rain down there in Vincennes. You guys got some rain. The severe risk is over for this evening. Nothing really too concerning. Okay. And then the last thing I want to show you is I was looking at a model called the RRFS, but this is the NAM model for tomorrow. At let's see. Oh, it hasn't even updated fully yet. It's coming in. But this is the model, the NAM model for tomorrow at 6 p.m. It doesn't even show anything. NAM model is a little bogus to me now. I don't really go off of this one. It's pretty inaccurate. So I'm not even really going to take that model to heart. But again, this is the RRFS at 6 p.m. showing a very strong storm coming through. And again, it becomes a little bit more linear. It starts to grow a little bit. And then this right here is at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, this video is sponsored by Dragon's Tool Barn in Terre Haute. And actually, I have a message about that. Every time I do a video, there's always, something that I highlight or update with Dragon's Tool Barn. And they are officially announcing that they're changing locations. They're in Terre Haute right now, but they are moving to the west side of Brazil, located directly next to Casey's on Highway 40 in the old Clover Signs building. So if any of you guys know where that's at, the old Clover Signs building there in Brazil. They will be moving there and have more updates on when they will be opening in their Brazil location here soon to come. But yes, this video is sponsored by Dragon's Tool Barn. All of my weather info videos are sponsored by them for the month of July. Let's see if we have any questions. If not, man, it's already 10 o'clock. Okay, I only was on live for 30 minutes. Enjoy watching and listening to your informative coverage for tomorrow. Thank you, KJ. Thanks for the update. You are welcome. TV makeup. Why? Yeah, I'm not wearing any makeup, so no makeup on me. You can't see if I go up close. You can probably see more of my blemishes, but I'm not wearing any makeup. But yeah, I think we're good as far as timing goes. And again, yeah, super Thankful for all of you guys and for just being on this journey with me. And I'm figuring it out literally day by day. So I appreciate it. Girl, glad to see your face. Thank you. Severe threat for the rest of tonight is none. Even in Bloomington, we don't see a threat for tonight. Just had lightning alert for Jasonville. Yeah, we might have some thunderstorms, but not looking to be severe. Thunderstorms, but not severe for tonight. And again, we're watching for rain tomorrow morning because if we have a lot of rain tomorrow morning come through the area, all of this stuff that I just talked about, it's going to kind of scrap it almost. We may have a couple stronger storms, but it won't look as severe as this if we have rain tomorrow morning. So nothing for tonight. Yeah, I mean, for tonight, let me actually go all the way back here. Let's see. For tonight, we're looking at, just some rain. This is at 10 p.m. We're having, maybe a little bit of some thunderstorms come through around midnight. This is showing tonight. This is showing midnight, 1 a.m. But overall, and then this is that rain shower that really dwindles as it comes to the area. If this rain shower right here, this is at 3 a.m. If this rain shower is a lot bigger and lingers a little bit, this will cut down the chance for severe weather tomorrow night. Thanks for the updates. You are welcome. I'm glad that this worked out, you guys. I'm so grateful. This is so great. I'm glad that I'm able to still provide weather information. And again, I mean, all glory to God to be able to do something like this. And how nice you guys all are and supportive and everything. And getting to stay in the Wabash Valley and still provide weather has been a huge, huge blessing. Are you familiar with max velocity? Heck yeah. I mean, who isn't? I think it's cracked the code for live stream weather coverage. Yes, him and Ryan Hall are like the pioneers of all of this. How about hail tomorrow around Farmersburg? The hail risk isn't great. Again, we kind of talked about that right at the beginning. Here's the hail risk. We don't really see much with this, but if we have some stronger storms with some stronger updrafts, and again, the more it's sucking up, the faster that those it's actually kind of cold aloft because as you go up in the atmosphere, it actually cools. So if you have a lot of updraft and things start cooling very quickly, that's when we have the chance for some hail. But yeah. Thank you, Alex, for all you do. Watch out for those storms. They could sneak up on you. They will almost never sneak up on me. I've been talking about this storm. I can't remember when I posted about this, like Thursday of last week. I can't remember when I posted about it, but I want to say it was Thursday. I can't look. But yeah, I've had my eye on this storm. It won't sneak up on me. How bad will storms be in Dayton, Ohio? Okay, so Dayton, Ohio, to my recollection, is in Western Ohio. And when we look at, that part, Western Ohio, we do see some stronger storms around the 10, 11 o'clock range. We can kind of see over here. Now, as far as significant tornado parameters, not as high. But I mean, it's showing some strong winds near Dayton, Ohio. So make sure you have things put away. And that's the main thing with this. I mean, make sure you have things. We'll know a little bit more tomorrow, but make sure you have things tucked away because these winds can be pretty strong. Thanks, Alex. We're getting lightning here in Linton. Let's look at radar. Linton. You'll like it. Is it you'll like it in Linton or you'll love it in Linton? I can't remember. Yeah, so we see a little tiny storm is approaching. It doesn't look to be severe, but a little tiny storm is approaching in your guys' area. If no more questions, then I'm going to go ahead and end this live. But again, we'll be tracking this tomorrow, especially be checking my Facebook for any updates. I'm super grateful for all of you guys who have just poured in the support and the encouragement and the love. And this is what I want to do is be of service to you guys. And this is why I got into, you know, this job in the first place, and it's taken a little bit of a pivot, but I'm still doing exactly what I want to do, which is keep you guys informed. And it's cool. I can do it now from a laptop and a couple of streaming apps and all that sort of stuff. And having sponsors has been just one of the biggest blessings, to know that people in the community want to see me keep doing weather. So that's been very humbling, and I'm very, very grateful for you guys. Yeah. So widespread wind does more damage. You are absolutely right. Widespread wind does, in fact, sometimes lead to more damage than a tornado, because it can cover a much, much, much larger area. It can cover hundreds of miles, honestly, whereas a tornado, maybe only a few. Best pivot, do it your way now. That's right. I get to do it my way. I'm so excited. Farmer's Daughter forecast, those have been so much fun. I'm doing a Farmer's Daughter forecast video. I went last week, but it's a family in Vigo County. Super excited about that. I'm going to a family in Vincennes this week. And so that'll come, I'll post that video in the prior week. But yeah, so I'm just having a lot of fun figuring this out, and yeah, rocking and rolling here in Palestine right now. Good for you. Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm going to call it a night, you guys. I think you should too. I'm a huge night owl, so it's kind of difficult for me to not stay up, but it's probably best that we all go to bed, because it is Sunday night and it is 10:08. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this. I'll be posting more tomorrow, and if it warrants it, if there is any tornado warnings in the area, I will go live tomorrow. If not, I'll be posting updates. If there are severe thunderstorm warnings that look to turn into tornado warnings, I'll also be going live for that. So I'll keep you guys updated, obviously, because that's what I do here on Facebook and also on YouTube. So anybody watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Maybe some of you guys were watching on a TV. I should have put myself on the TV. That would have been a little weird, but anyways, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys later.